Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking all about getting out of a depressive rut or just feeling stuck in this moment. So I thought it would be helpful because I've been able to come out of mine and I've been helping others come out of theirs. So I wanted to bring the information to my YouTube family so that if you're struggling or you know somebody that's struggling, then I brought the information to you. Now, before we get into the content, because I know you guys want to hear all about it, I want to introduce myself. I'm Rashawnda. I'm a licensed therapist and I make mental health videos about self-care, life tips so that you can move toward that healthy lifestyle, whether it be in an office with a therapist or on your own in your home. Wherever it is, I want you to live a healthy lifestyle. Now, if you want to follow me outside of YouTube, then you can follow me on Instagram at Rashawnda James. Now that you know where to find me and you're subscribed, let's talk all about a rut, a depressive rut, just feeling stuck. Well, of course, I want to tell you guys how to get out of a rut, but I want you to be able to first recognize what a rut is. I'm speaking from life experience and working with others. Now, if you have those times where you can't get out the bed, you're feeling unmotivated, you're feeling hopeless about things, you're feeling very unfulfilled, and it's just really hard to kind of get those wheels going, even if you kind of feel like you could be doing something like great and amazing. You're kind of like on the sideline watching other people, wishing you had the energy. Yeah, that's me. That's why I kind of drop off social media sometimes, because it can just not be good for you if you're in a rut, if you're struggling with a sense of hopelessness and feeling unmotivated. So if you're dealing with any of those or you've ever dealt with those, then you may be in a rut. I'm not going to diagnose nobody because I can't talk to you and I can't see you, but you know yourself. You kind of recognize if you were like feeling like lively, you were feeling good, hanging out, and COVID has really like changed a lot of that, where you're like in the house a lot. And so every day could feel like the same. Yeah, that's also an indicator that those days are meshing together. No day feels like differently. You're kind of like, I need something different. You may be in a rut. Now that we recognize what a rut is, I'm going to give you guys 4 kind of practical things about how to get out. You may need all 4. You may only need 1. You may need 2 out of 4. But I'm just going to give you guys them and hopefully it's helpful. My first tip is to find the source. You got to dig a little bit deep. You got to just stop and sit in it. I mean, I know you're already feeling like you're in the rut, but like really sit in it. Focus on those thoughts, focus on those feelings, kind of go back and track like, when did this start? What was going on during that time? Because every rut is not the same. You got career ruts where you're feeling like you're not moving up the ladder, or you're just not motivated at work, or it's just not for you anymore and you want to get out. But you also have those partnership ruts. Maybe like you and your partner aren't communicating well. Maybe you guys feel very disconnected and that spark that used to be there is not there anymore. Maybe there are family situations where you're feeling overwhelmed and just bogged down and you just can't think straight. So you kind of just wallow and sit in it and disconnect. I've done that before. I really have. So it's important to recognize that there are different type of ruts, and so finding out what it is how you create an actionable plan. It's how you figure out what you need to do, because for a career rut may not necessarily be the same as a relationship rut. So you got to find out what it is before you can charge forward. Was that too much? Was that too much? I don't know. Making sure that when you find that source that you're not beating yourself up. We can sometimes be our worst critic. I know that I am. So sometimes when I'm in a rut, because I've been in several in my life, I'll tell myself like, I shouldn't be in a rut, or someone has it worse than me. Just get over it. Those thoughts are so unhelpful. They do nothing for you. So if you're telling yourself it, stop. Let's tell ourselves something different. Let's hug ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves. So thinking about the source and thinking about what's kind of also driving it and kind of just keeping you there. And your thoughts are very powerful. They're very powerful. So find the source, find those thoughts, and then we're going to move on to the next thing. Tip number 2, we're going to be looking at the thoughts. So as I said, in finding the source, it was kind of finding those pesky little thoughts right there. So in this tip, we're going to be working on reframing them. So I love cognitive behavioral therapy, that's CBT. And what I love about it is it really looks at those thoughts that are like keeping us down and just validating all the negativity. But we're going to turn that around so that we can then change our feeling and then we can change our behaviors. Because when I'm telling myself that somebody out there has it worse, I actually feel guilty for not being motivated and for not getting things done. So that feeling is then sadness, guilt, and then my behavior is just laying in the bed wallowing. Not a good combination. So, looking at those thoughts, telling myself first, validating that it's okay to be in a rut, that eases the guilt, that eases the pressure and feeling overwhelmed. And then I'm able to say, okay, let's look at things. What can I tell myself? Once you look at those annoying negative thoughts, because they are annoying, you can add in self compassion where you like validate that it's okay, where you like champion yourself on, where you add those positive affirmations, where you also look at that mental and emotional wellness. As I said, we can be our worst critics. So replacing those negative thoughts with like positive ones about ourselves, affirming our worth, affirming our self-value, affirming where we are in life. Those are going to affirm positive feelings and then get us to those positive behaviors that are away from the hopelessness, away from feeling unmotivated. Number 3 is all about creating the change. Now, this one is like really cool because there's no one way to do it. Creating the change can look so differently for so many people, whether it's trying a new hobby, volunteering, trying a new activity, learning a new skill, whatever that is that's going to create that motivation to create that change for you is what I think that, you kind of want to draw and try to go toward. And so for myself, I was, really dabbling to a lot of different things during this like COVID time in particularly. I was like going to a lot of virtual summits. I also was a guest speaker at one of them. And then I was looking for some new skills. I couldn't go many places. So I was like, okay, what is there online? Of course, I love YouTube. I'm on YouTube. But I also ran across Skillshare. So I was really excited when they decided to sponsor this video because they have like some really cool and amazing classes. And I'm not just saying that. Like, even though I was in my bed while I was watching it, I was particularly interested in the creative writing. They had this series of Black creators, and I was like, oh, like I love this. Like, this is so exciting. I encourage you guys to definitely check them out. They're $10 a month for a subscription, which is like pretty low entry rate. It's an online platform for creatives and they don't have ads. So I was happy when they decided to sponsor this video. So the first 1,000 people that sign up with the link in the description box will also get a premium subscription. If creative writing is not for you, they had career, entrepreneurship, photography, like they just had a lot of different things. So if you're looking to create that change, like Skillshare might be a really cool place to start. And tip number 4 is finding your purpose. I already made a video on it, so I will link it in the cards up above, but finding your purpose is like a really good way of finding that source of happiness, what your passion is, and then trying to build your life around it. So if you're feeling like I don't really know where to start, you found the source, you target those thoughts, you're trying to create the change, but you're still feeling unhappy and you don't really have any direction, finding your purpose can be a really good place, whether that's mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like looking at all of those components and what is driving you from within. So in that video, I go into more depth, like giving some actionable steps. So definitely check that out. So there you have it. That was 4 tips on how to get out of your depressive rut or just stuck in life in general. I hope it was helpful to hear those tips. If you enjoyed it, give me the thumbs up and I'll see you in the next video.